distinctly, I think I remember the moment where I realised I'd been embraced by kind of a gay fan base. That was in Paris around Ruby Blue time. We went out and it was a small club, but it was absolutely packed. People were hanging out of the ceilings, the sweat was pouring down the walls, you know, people were hysterical. Outfits there, hats there, makeup over there, feathers over here. Amazing.
Finally, I'm free.
And I sort of just went out on that stage and I looked at that and I just thought, oh God, that's a relief, you know, to kind of find a place eventually, you know, an audience that can look at me with all my silly flamboyance, etc., and understand it immediately. And I can look at them with all their silly flamboyance and what have you, and their emotion, and I can understand them immediately too. And that was the moment, and I haven't looked back.
There's a particular evangelist, Róisín Murphy evangelist, called Ambrosia Salad.
I just kind of feel like Róisín Murphy is definitely a true artist and a diva and an amazing performer and songwriter.
When you are ready, I will surrender. Take me and do as you will.
So I've taken it upon myself to educate, I guess, or to spread the gospel of Róisín Murphy around the city and other places too.
What's for you will not pass you by.
I consider drag and performance kind of like being a DJ, where you get to share a certain song and a certain feeling and mood to a new audience. And if I was to be any DJ, I'd be a DJ that played Róisín Murphy. And so it's I get to inspire and I get to teach people.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this thing with the drag queens is came up around Overpowered. There is that idea of being in a normal, tired, everyday world, you know, being something fantastical within that, you know, doing something with that reality, somehow warping that reality. And there was a lot of that with the Overpowered. That idea was very core to it.
She's just in a regular situation, being caught out in the city, wearing these ridiculous outfits, Victor and Rolf, for instance.
What's very nice is that I start seeing younger drag performances, discovering Overpowered and You Know Me Better. And so when I'm walking home late at night and I see a performance, and I sneak in, and it's just mind-blowing.
When Róisín Murphy released Overpowered, I was immediately drawn to the album, and to the music, the dance quality, and the art direction, and the fashion.
Ambrosia calls me and she's like, did you hear the new, you know, Overpowered? Have you heard it? I'm obsessed, it's on repeat. I'm like, yes, me too. It dropped just before Gay Pride. And I'm DJing the float, and her CD gets stuck in the CD deck. And so we literally had Róisín on repeat, and everyone was like, play that song again, play that song again. And we all just like lived for it. And that was the beginning of the summer, and the rest of the summer was like all Róisín all the time.
She definitely has the power to create people to dance.
You know me better than I know myself. You know me the best.
So I think that was, if not the same summer, I mean, it must have been the same summer, but if not, that shows you we were still obsessed. And Ambrosia performed for Daytime Realness and did You Know Me Better. And we all just started dancing, and we know how to sing backup and who takes, you know, the lead and all that stuff. It was just like so jubilant.
Literally, a friend told me, he's like, a Róisín Murphy song at a club is like a bat signal. The bat signal goes up and then you're on the dance floor all of a sudden. So it's totally true. I kind of like tore up the stage while dancing to Royalty.
It's incredible to be kind of loved by such a creative bunch, you know, and especially ones that are so kind of like brave and out there on the edge of something, you know. It really makes me feel like perhaps I did something right after all. So yeah, I'm humbled and privileged to be even known about out in San Francisco or anywhere else, really.
The first number that I performed by Roisin Murphy was Primitive.
And she did it wearing this amazing coat she has that's made of it's made up of wigs.
Wearing this dress.
And so it looks like some sort of like creature. She looks like a very sleek gorilla.
I remember that. And soon after that, we made a music video.
I mean, I like videos with a bit of humour in them. That's just a tiny soupçon of wit in everything, please.
Behind these walls, you can be so self-absorbed.
I've always, since I was a kid, wanted to make music videos, and so I kind of just had this idea to make a music video for Dear Miami, and I even have friends who watch that now, and they're like, oh my god, that video you did in the park, I love it, and that song. Like, we'll look up her other stuff, her name's Roisin Murphy, learn her, basically. Me and Roisin Murphy have very, very similar fashion tastes. I am completely inspired by her, and a lot of my looks and outfits do come from things that she's worn. Pink poo?
Yeah.
What? Enough people were curious and responsive to me doing her songs, I decided that it's time to do a tribute night to her. And so it was September of 2010 that we had a Roisin Murphy tribute night. My goal is not, of course, to bore the audience, but more importantly, not to bore myself.
Baby, you're already fixated. You got to give your mouth a rest. So greedy. I wish you could have waited, but you just love to stuff your face.
The show had actually a huge turnout. We also had a fashion show, and a lot of people wore stuff that was made for me by my dressmaker, Mr. David, and these were all outfits that were inspired by things that she had worn.
What you find is you don't need that much, you know, as you go along, you start to take stuff out, and the more you kind of take out, the better the stuff that's there looks.
I think that drag itself is an imitation of life. What I love most about Roisin Murphy's style is it's effortless.
I do my own styling. It's a difficult job. It requires like lots of walking around and searching but my mother was an antique dealer, so I did that from a very young age, this tramping around and searching for things to feed my fantasies. I look at this kind of the relationship between celebrity and fashion as being one where there's less sort of space to get in there and really do something a bit dangerous, you know. It's all very organized now, and even the extreme kind of part of it is sort of tamed by business. I wanted to create with Hairless Toys something that was a bit cleaner than that hadn't got the sort of baggage of being a designer, you know, of being from the latest Catwalk collection.
The new album, Hairless Toys, follows that kind of Roisin thing where it's like the whole album, each song is like this package that's wrapped up. It's so organic, it's these albums that grow on you.
It's something that you could be here at Dolores Park, putting on your headphones, having a beer right next to you with your bike, and just really feeling the story that she's telling you.
I did build this strange character, this kind of unplaceable, what is she? A housewife in suburbia, that was an actress, that was a star, there is something special inside of her, it's kind of subdued. And I think there's a sort of element of that in the music too, you know, that there's this sense of she's come out of exile, she's come from some other time.
When we watch movies in the afternoon, it's like 4 in a row. And it's all these crazy art films, you know, Camille 2000, and like weird things that are visually really arresting. And I think sometimes we're watching Mauritian videos and I'll be like, oh my God, she just like referenced Lola or like, you know, Fassbinder, or, and it's just, you feel like, ooh, like part of the club, or she just gets it. She's so intelligent. And yeah, sorry.
Quite nice to have that sense of space. Stop. Many people are asking me about the directing of the videos. Of course, I loved doing it. It was probably been the biggest buzz I've had in years. You are like a general on the day, you know, you've got all your sort of your soldiers in place and it all goes off. And it is a kind of a big performance, especially a video. You're only one day, you've got a big build up to it, but you've got one day shooting usually. The director is a performer too, in a sense. We're all performing in a play. A one day long play, you know. Every time I come to do a show, it gets more extreme. My performances are flamboyant and kind of full on, but also very emotional, and you know, that there's lots of the other side of that.
It's a memory with an afterlife.
Different every night. I have like a huge wardrobe case that comes with us everywhere we go, and I have lots of choice, and it's all there in a little room side of stage for me, and I make up my mind on the night.
And I didn't realize I looked like a when I bought this.
I make up my mind on the night, and sometimes it works beautifully and the flow is fantastic. And sometimes I end up in a Christian, as my mother would say, all in a mess, you know, with everything kind of not going right. So it's a kind of a danger thing. It's like I sort of enjoy having too many things to do. Sometimes people think performance has to be very earnest and pained to kind of be relevant to anything real. I would say that performance is for more than that. It's for saying a lot of complex things at once without having to say it.
Far from the mad pride, something stirring within me. Might as well let it out, let the feeling consume me.
When I go out onto the stage, I try to bend reality a little bit into something more.
Give up yourself unto the moment. The time is now. Give up yourself unto the moment.